Hello, in this session we will cover the Data Dictionary module. We will go over the capabilities of the module and then I'll jump into a demonstration. A quick introduction, the Data Dictionary module provides the tools for defining the data you submit, as well as alternate terms and translation tools for the same element. Most importantly, the dictionary provides those who have access to the data with clear and precise information about what it is they are assessing. Some capabilities of the module: it allows you to search, create, and import data elements, as well as search, create, and import form structures. Note that we will cover eForms when we do a ProForms training. I'm going to jump right into the demonstration, but before we get to that, I want to cover a little bit about data elements. A data element is information that describes a piece of data to be collected in a study. Data elements do not include the data themselves, and attributes often include a name, definition, instructions, references, value set. They have 4 different workflow states: draft, awaiting publication, published, deprecated, and retired. A data element is placed in a deprecated state if the data element contains an until date, and the until date is less than today's date and has been at some time in the published state. These deprecated data elements can be used in a new form structure as well as in an existing form structure, but the system will warn the user that the form contains deprecated data elements. A data element is retired if the data element contains an until date and the until date is greater than today's date and it has been at some time in the published state. The user can use a retired data element in a form in draft state only if the data element was added to the form structure prior to its state changing to retired. And I'll show you when we talk about form structures where the until date is located. So now I'm going to go to the portal and I'm going to log in. And I'm going to go to the Data Dictionary. And the first thing that you'll see is you can search on form structures. That's the landing page. But what I'm going to do is I want to search on data elements. So if you click the menu icon here and then click search under data elements, you can begin to search on the data elements that are in the system here. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can use this text box at the top here to type in a keyword, and you can hit enter or click this icon here to find all data elements that contain the term you searched on. You can also use these narrow down filters on the side. You can look at data elements in draft or awaiting publication or published, unique or common data elements, a disease, or a population that they pertain to. The next thing you'll want to know about data elements is how to create a single data element. So if you open the menu and then click create, you'll get to a screen like this. And you'll be able to use these chevrons at the top here to navigate through creating the data element. So if I want to create a unique data element, you have to give it a title and a variable name, as well as a short description. Those are required, and some tooltips will pop up showing you what's allowed for that field. Click continue. Documentation. This might be where you want to add an URLs or files that might be helpful or as references for this data element. I'm not going to add anything, but I'm going to move forward. Attributes. This is where you're going to add in what the options are for the data element. What is the question that's being asked? So this first one is there a defined list of permissible values? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that there are numeric values, and I want to build a list of what those permissible values are. So maybe it's 1, and the description of that value is yes, and then your output code is 1. There's a handout on output codes that can be shared with you. These often are standard codes that are used across data collection and research that may be of interest to you, and that can be shared. So I've added my values to the table, and I'm going to say that no, more than one value cannot be selected. Unit of measure, if you had a measurement, you could start typing here, and a list of items would pop up that you could choose from. If you don't have one, so I'm going to click clear. You're required to select the population and enter in some guidelines and instructions and maybe a preferred question. The last part you'll need to do is associate your data element with a disease. Here we're using traumatic brain injury. In this system, there will be a disease trauma. You'll want that one. And there will be different options, but overall the domains and subdomains will be the same. Click continue. Here's where you can add keywords and labels to your data element. Click continue. And you need to submit a submitting organization name and steward organization. Those are the only two required fields. And here's that until date I was talking about. This is where you would enter in a date that would state whether a data element reached a deprecated or retired state. You may want to use this with legacy data. You're bringing that in and have some data elements that you may want to have retired or deprecated at some point. Finally, we get to this review page, and this is where you can give what you entered a quick look. And if it's ready, you can click Save and Finish. Once you're done with that, you probably want to publish the data element. You could request publication from the data element itself, or the data element can be published automatically when it's added to a form structure that's published. Best practice is not to publish data elements until you try to submit data against them in a form structure and valid. This is really important with legacy data. I'll show you really quickly though, as an admin, how you can publish a data element. I'm going to go to search my data element. And I'm going to look for the one I just created. And I'm going to request publication. Now, as an admin, I'd want to go to the Data Dictionary Administration by clicking in the menu. And what I would want to do here is under Manage Data Elements, I'm going to look for the one I created. I'll click on that, and I will approve the publication. And I think it's by the reason, then you can add documentation here if you choose. I'm going to click Now my data element is published. Now if you wanted to edit a data element and you had access to it, you could click this edit button here, and then you could go through the same steps that we went through and edit whatever you want. So we enter your change history as well, and your data element edited. Now it's very unlikely that you'll be entering in data elements one by one like this. You'll probably want to import a bunch of data elements. And the way that you can do that is under the Data Dictionary tool, under data elements, click import. And this is where you'll use an Excel file to fill out your data elements. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is the Excel file where you can enter in data elements for a bulk import. Notice that we have some column headings at the top which correspond to all the steps that we just went through. And then you have these yellow boxes. Yellow means you want to fill that field out. And as you fill it out, it'll change to a different color. It'll change to this green blue color. And then, as you fill things out, the fields will change colors to indicate whether you can fill it out or not. Looking at this, I entered some data elements in here, and you'll just go across. There is a guide that explains what you can enter and what you cannot. And then what you want to do when you're done is save this as a CSV file, because that's what you're going to use to upload. If I go back to my import screen, and I click this choose file, I locate my file. So I saved my Excel file as a CSV. I'm going to click open, and then I'm going to click upload. And if there are any errors in your data elements in the spreadsheet, the system will tell you here, and then you'll need to go back and fix them and then resave as a CSV file. So here it's telling me that everything is good to go. I want to import all of these. I'm going to import my selected data elements. And they should be in here. I'm going to click the modified date. Here they are. So you can see, since I'm an admin, that the data elements I just imported came over, and they're in the draft state. I'm going to leave them in the draft state. And I just want to remind you that this bulk data element import is no longer an admin-only function. Anyone with dictionary module access can do this. So we're going to take a little break, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about form structures. That's where we're going to put our data elements.